Since the early 2010s, with a really big EV popularity boom, the Nissan Leaf has definitely been a staple of that movement. It gave you affordability, a reliable range, and it was pretty much everything that everyone wanted in a daily EV driver. Now the times have changed. Battery ranges have increased and technology has advanced. So whenever you're talking about an older Leaf, you really have to start comparing it to the value of what you might get in today's cars. And that's when we have to start talking about whatever the hell that thing is over there. That's right, everybody. If you are a breathing human being and you know anything about electric cars, behind me is a Tesla Model 3. It probably needs no introduction, but there it is. And we're going to take a look at it today, see how it compares to the Leaf. Now, the cars, I really don't feel like they compare as comparable vehicles, but they do compare in a lot of ways, especially just being electric. So we're going to take a look at the features of the Model 3, see what it's got, see what it does, and see what old Fugs over there is up to. Apart from its quirky looks and all-electric drivetrain, the Nissan Leaf is a relatively normal setup. It's a small 5-seat hatchback with all the normal things you would expect. You have a pretty standard gauge cluster, buttons to control the radio and air conditioning, a strange gear shifter but one that's easy to use and in a standard place, and a steering wheel covered in buttons that anyone would want right at their fingertips. With the Tesla Model 3, Elon Musk and his team wanted none of that. I'd have to admit, it's a little shocking when you first get in the car. The feeling is substantially different. Now, I used to drive a Scion XB, which had all the gauges and infotainment towards the center of the car, but this is different. When I got into the Model 3, my first thought was, so for $50,000 you get a car frame and a tablet. Right. Once you drive it though, it quickly becomes clear why this car is such a big deal. You get an entirely different experience in it than any other car. As corny as it sounds, you feel more freedom in the Model 3. Not having all this garbage in front of my face and feeling closed in behind a dashboard, I felt like I could see everything and take in what was really happening in front of me. I'll tell you right now, if you were one of those idiots who canceled their reservation because you didn't have a hard-to-see screen behind the steering wheel like in the Model S and X, you're missing out, and I really feel sorry for you. One of the biggest differences between the Model 3 and the Nissan Leaf is clearly performance. 0 to 60 on the Leaf is rated at 11 seconds, but I've consistently done it in 9. The 0 to 60 for the single motor, long range Model 3 is rated at somewhere between holy shit and 5 seconds. As much fun as 0 to 45 is in the Leaf, you really take a dump in power around 50 miles per hour. If you need to do some passing on the highway in the Leaf, you just have to be patient. That's the difference with the Model 3. Anytime you need power, it's there and it's ready to punch you in the face, even with the slightest adjustment from your driving foot. Between the crazy amount of instant torque you get and the quickness of the steering input, it's probably the most fun to drive car that I have ever been in. If you combine that with its stunning looks, sleek interior design, and innovative technology that we haven't seen in any other car yet, you pretty much have the perfect car for the world that we live in today and for the world that we'll live in the future. I'm going to put a few videos together about the features of the Model 3, and one video in particular on a strong opinion that I have against the long-range model. But if there's one thing that I can tell you right now, it's that the Model 3 is an incredible car. I'm definitely not a Tesla fanboy. I'm just generally pro-EV, and I could say as many nice things about the Chevy Bolt, but the Model 3 is truly something special.